We have even more details about Nomads, including more details about Origins, contracts, Waylines, and even in-game footage of all of these mechanics. We also get more information about Willpower and how it's actually an external politics TLC and not internal. This was all from a secret video released yesterday early for newsletter subscribers, should be coming out today, as well as more information from the devs themselves in the forums. Let's get into it. So here we have the video with extra information. It's unlisted at 230 views because people who signed up to the newsletter got it yesterday, which you can come over to Stellaris.com and signing up. Who knows if they'll do this in the future. I'm just giving them free promo for the newsletter, but that's how we did get it early. It's not a great thing. Any of you could have had it. Didn't know about that. Thank you Hags50 for letting us know about that. Let's get into the juicy new information. So the first thing we get to see is the Arkship in game. Look at it. Beautiful. We get some Viper in-game look, but you can actually get them now with Season 10. More importantly, we have the background art for Nomads. You can see the background art, yes, we're in space. It's not going to be looking like a city. We're literally staring out into the star. That's pretty cool. Now this shot, I feel like is intentionally blurred to start with. We've got a ship back here. I don't know exactly what it is. Let me know in the comments if you know what it is. Check the comments to see what it is, because people will correct me. We get another ship of the Arkship.
Massive self-sustaining vessels that completely replace worlds for nomadic empires.
Now, call me crazy. Is this beam not a survey beam? I think it is. We also get a look at the Waystations here. And this doesn't look like a ship we have. Is this like a cargo ship, or is it a science or construction ship that we already have and it's a different ship set? Not sure. Then we get a look at the Waylines, which look interesting to say the least. Notably, they're going from no claimed area to claimed area, and they stop within the Empire.
Waylines. These interstellar trade routes harvest the local resources, even if someone has already claimed the system.
So what Iggy's basically said there is if we have a wayline in the system, it's going to collect those resources for us, even if it's claimed. So if someone has an arc furnace, you can put a wayline there to get the resources, if I'm understanding it correctly, which that's pretty nice. Could make a load of waylines towards a network of arc furnaces, Dyson swarms, mega structures that are affecting system deposits. Maybe it works like that. If you're thinking about buying Season 10, make sure to use my code EP for Stellaris or use the link in the description. It'll take you to the Paradox store where you'll give the channel a cut of the sale, and then you'll get a Steam key in return. It's greatly appreciated and helps out the channel a bunch. Thank you. So if we first look at the contracts, it pops up in the system. You can see the waylines here also with a unique resource, and you can see there's a different color on the resources. They're yellow. What's weird is we have it on Marinet, but there's nothing there. So maybe we can still construct on them. But interestingly, you've got a mix. I'm guessing the white ones haven't been mined. There's no mining stations, but up here in the corner, we can see we have all of them being collected. Up in the corner, we also have a resource that says high. What does that mean? It's replaced energy and minerals. What? On the right, we have the tooltip. We have operational reserves. Again, no clue what that means. Maybe the high is to do with that situation. And then we have our frontier sector. Obviously, there's no sector with the CNS Unity capital Arkship. It is a planet. It has a governor or something assigned. It has some unemployment, and you can build a building there. So it's probably going to operate literally like a planet in space. We have military fleets with CNS Unity. It looks like they're on their way to do a project with an unknown time or outcome because the project bar is filled. Then you have the logistic ship, which is a new type of ship that maybe supports the capital ship with low. Don't know what these low and highs are. You then have the CNS Shrouded Hope, which I'm guessing is another logistic ship with mid. And then you have a science ship below it doing science ship things. We also have the waylines that you can see, the Deneb wayline. So it's not saying one for each one here. It's just started here and it's going out there. There's low on it. Again, not sure what the low and the other icon is, but that's an insane screenshot for the amount of information we get. Here you can see the contract is a colony start. The Hive have issued it. It's going to take 1,516 days, and they want us to help them to get the colony up and running efficiently. They need a helping hand. What does that even mean? I don't know. Does it need a wayline? It's in the Ka-Hoko system. It will give us 1,250 trade, trust, and opinion, so we can have different resources and the opinion stuff, so we can be peaceful nomads, which is quite nice. And that contract is in that system. You can also see it hovering over. We get a first look look at the origins, you can see the ship here as well with the art in the background. Voidfarers. For this civilization, the journey is the destination. Abandoning a permanent settlement in favor of life aboard vast Arkships. They carry their people, industry, and ambitions across the stars. Effects. Start with an additional logistics ship. I don't know what the logistics ships do. Can they do more contracts? Do they give you more resources? Do they make the Waylines? But you start with an extra one anyway. In terms of modifiers, you get 50% dock ship hull repair speed and armor repair speed. Your Arkship action speed is 20%. What the heck is action? That's probably what the thing was that it was doing before. And then Waystation build speed is 20%, so you can build more Waystations. This seems like just a good nomadic start. You get your things quicker, essentially. Kind of like Prosperous Unification, but for Arkship things. Heirs of the Khan. This will disable settling, which is very important because Voidfarers did not disable settling, so we can probably change between nomads and not, which is very interesting, or at least settle on planets. Once the next in line of the Khanate, this clan was cast down by treachery, betrayed by those they considered kin. They now stalk the hyperlanes as nomads, gathering their strength to one day return the favor. Effects. Nomadic origin. Periodically chased by hostile marauder ships. That is fun. You can't sit still. You have to move. Unlocks unique interactions with marauder empires, and you can create satrapy vassals. If you don't know what satrapy vassal is, the only way to get it in the base game at the minute is killing the Khan and getting the relic. This relic then lets you make satrapies where you can basically take their naval capacity from them in the contracts, which is very strong, especially for late game. Also, the unique interaction with mortar empires is very interesting. The sacred path also disables settling. These nomadic spiritualists traverse a deified route dictated by their ancestral scriptures. With technological advancements and an evolving understanding of the galaxy, will the pilgrimage remain their purpose? You start as a nomadic origin, you have a unique Arkship district, consecrated community, and you have unique jobs like High Pilgrim, Devoted Adept, and Faithful Acolyte. Can't see what these do, but it is a spiritualist based origin for your nomads. Lastly, we have the Forever Cruise, which also disables settling. The Forever Cruise travels the stars in search of wonder and excitement, where the birth of nebula can be observed with the comfort of a sun lounger. The dedicated crew works tirelessly to cater to any passenger's whim. You're basically on a space cruise, which it says that. You have a nomadic origin. You start with the situation passenger satisfaction. You start with a crew and a passenger species. That's very interesting. You have unique Arkship district, service district, unique job, activity manager, and you have available Arkship district specializations, which we can't actually see. Iggy mentioned that they will be pandering to the elites, so that means the passengers might be all elites and the crew specialists and workers. They also said not to let it rebel, so yeah, you don't want the passenger satisfaction to go, but there's probably achievements or a benefit to rebelling, like on Snowpiercer. So as you can see here, they've actually made categories in the Ascension perks. So you got your Ascensions and now the new Ambitions, because they're not Crisis anymore, they can be good. Defender of the Galaxy. As stars nations vie with one another in petty disputes, sinister forces of unimaginable power are arraying themselves against all sapient life. Who will protect us? It will be us. And you can see the hero ships, which we got a teaser in the last dev diary. And it just leaves more room for more ambitions and, well, like were Crisis paths. We get more information here. This will allow the Empire to progress towards the ambition, requires 3 other Ascension perks like normal, and all must be false. You cannot be fanatic xenophobe or inward perfectionist, meaning you can be a xenophobe and take this, which is very interesting.
Stellar Cap. Weaponize your entire energy stockpile into a devastating galaxy-spanning beam with this megastructure. Last and not least,
we've gotten a look at the new Stellar Cannon, which Iggy says we can weaponize our entire energy stockpile, which sounds pretty good across the galaxy too. We have Champions Forge Live 2, which is essentially We Will Battle, which we saw a lot more information about in the last dev diary. Well, if it isn't our favourite warmongering / patron of public spectacle. We're preparing for the next Fleet Melee. Would you like to be the main event? We can register us for the next show, introduce us around, which we can't click and it has a symbol that I've never seen before, and tell us more about your events. Then well met, which we'll leave. So now we have Willpower, which is made by Abraham, who made Shadows of the Shroud and Grand Archive. So our ethics are going to create powerful ideologies. We have a new screen here in the government tab. We have Council of Factions, Policies, Edicts, then Ideologies. This is of course a work in progress, but we can see ideologies. We can adopt them, which we haven't done. We have foreign ideologies, which are all work in process and we need information, but we can adopt them and suppress them. And it shows how much is in the galaxy. This reminds me of the culture system in Civ 6, if you don't know how that works, essentially you build your culture, it can give you buffs, I believe. You then send rock bands around and spread your culture, then you can get a culture victory. It also helps if you have like nice wonders and less industry and stuff like that. You can also see the empire distribution, galactic distribution, so it can take up some of your empire, but also the galaxy.
Now is the time for those fundamental values to shift into ideologies with the power to sway entire civilizations. You are no longer only a ruler of systems, but a uniter of minds. You will erect monuments and megastructures that demonstrate your society and the values that you hold most dear.
So we're not just fighting for land, we're fighting for minds. We can get monuments and megastructures which show our ideologies, which is going to be really cool to build.
Truly become the thought leader of the galaxy. However, adopting an ideology is not without its risk. Left unchecked, it can radicalize colonies and spark insurrection.
That is very interesting. There might be way more emphasis on keeping your colonies happy and not radicalizing too much.
Nurtured with care, the right ideology has the power to sway entire civilizations. I know what some of you are thinking. Ideologies sound amazing. We want to get into that system, but what about Gestalts? Well, never fear, we've got you covered. The ideology system will also work for Gestalt consciousnesses. It's slightly different than it is for regular empires, but I'm really, really excited about the results, and I can't wait to see what you guys get up to with it. It's going to be pretty wild. Stellaris Willpower.
So there you have it. It's probably not internal politics because Gestalts don't have internal politics, and it's coming to Gestalts, which is quite nice that it's not excluding that for one big DLC. So we do get a look at the new Origins, but no details. We have Golden Generation,
where you train up a cadre of the best and brightest minds in your empire. We've got Lost Makers, which unlocks really, really, really cool lore connections with some existing content. Abracam is fantastic at that. We've also got the Great Mosaic. I am not going to spoil how this is, but I think that many people on our forums are going to be excited.
Those 3 Origins sound very, very cool. Thank you, Chad, for letting us know about it.
The pack will also have absolute ethics, so that you can, for example, become the true embodiment of xenophilia. Could be interesting.
And we got a new mechanic with absolute ethics, which, yeah, we could be xenophilia, xenophobia, pacifism. I did kind of predict that, which is nice. 5 civics.
We've got a new ambition, which is called Force of Will, so that you can dominate the galaxy through the power of thought alone.
And a new ambition linked to obviously just dominate the minds of people. Great halls, cathedrals, megastructures. We love megastructures. It sounds good. Sounds good. Scenarios are coming as well from the people who helped with Infernal's Forgotten Empires, but there was no information that we didn't already know from the last Dev Diary. Now, something that I wish I could do, but I make the videos live just as the Dev Diaries come out, is actually look at the dev responses, because we can get a lot of information, especially on DLC. Someone asked, Nomads and internal politics? Maybe I'm wrong. Eldrin said, willpower is more external politics and soft power influence than just the religion expansion or internal politics, though ideologies can affect your internal stability. So basically what we've just seen from that video and confirmed is not internal politics. I'm sorry. I thought it might have been. Also confirm here, Gestalts will have plenty of interactions with willpower. Will Marauders get any change with the Nomad expansion? If you take Heir of the Khan, things can play out quite differently. So they're not going to roam around, but if you take Aragon, things are different, and I think that's them chasing you, but it could be more stuff. How do you designate an empire as nomadic? This is a good question. First, you select it in the empire creation. We'll explain more in upcoming Dev Diaries, but nomadic empires support many existing origins, so you don't have to take origins. This was said in the last Dev Diary. I think a lot of people didn't see this. This means you can go Prosperous Unification Nomads, or well, I don't know what's confirmed, but we'll see one that is very interesting in a minute. But for example, Wilderness is not supported by Nomads, unfortunately, but Iggy was playing Nomadic Terraforms the other day. Yes, you can consume worlds as a Nomad. That sounds quite strong. That needs to go on the ideal list. Will only nomadic nations be able to make these waylines? Trade routes reimagined, question mark? And contracts? If so, I think that is very sad, as both things seem like something others could unlock through Ascension books, traditions, or tech, especially contracts. The answer to that is Waystations and Waylines are nomadic mechanics. Contracts are generally issued by settled empires for nomads, though there are some self-issued contracts as well, like some passengers demands in the Forever Cruise. So unfortunately, yes, it's only nomadic nations, which kind of annoying, but it probably would make those empires very strong if you could do that. Wait, so it's possible to later become nomads without the origin. More details later, but it's possible to switch from settled to nomadic or the other way around. So as we saw in the origins, the first origin we saw probably can switch. Can you play nomadic eager explorers? If you don't know what eager explorers is, you start with jump drives and no hyperdrives. And yes, they're pretty sure that works. That's cool. Are there biological Arkships? No. Can Justols be nomads? Yes. Machine Empire nomads? Yes. Devouring Swarm Terrible nomad? Yes. Remember, if you are thinking of buying Season 10, use my link or code in the description. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe. Now go watch how to start every single 4.3 game. A lot has changed, but it will set you up to dominate the galaxy. Goodbye.